Hey everyone, got the Cavalier back again. Had some brake line issues. He blew a brake line a couple days ago, I think. He was complaining about a clunking in the left front. Well, check this out. I'll get a light on. There's the inner sway bar bushing. Check that out. Look at the inner sway bar. I can see the one point there. Our great Canadian winners. Right, the K-frame right from underneath this car. Look at that. Okay. Now what to do with it? These people, I don't think they want to buy a new car. So we're going to have to come up with something here. Anyways. Onward ho. Okay guys, this is underneath. It's what I can't see on this car, the holes on this K-frame that I don't like. Because the rack attaches in there. You can see how bad it is right there on two thin metal tabs. I can't quite see how bad it is up in there. I'm not on a hoist. You can see where my brake line, the brake lines on this car failed. Right there. It comes through the floor, comes down through the K-frame. Yeah, that's not good. Anyway, onward ho. We'll look around some more. Okay guys, you can see this frame is cracked right across, rotted right across the top, hardly anything left. You see it's starting to crack down there. It does have three bolts holding it. One there, one up there. I don't think they're prepared to buy a new car. So I'm going to go ahead and fix the two rear brake lines. Really, they should pull this off the road probably and junk it because it should all have all the brake lines. I hate leaving people stuck, so what do? Fix the two rear brake lines, let her go? I'm going to have to tell them about the K-frame. It's not good. But that's the way it goes. Sometimes, check this out from the top. If you can see it, I don't know. Just a minute. I'll get over here. We can kind of get in here. And shine it down there. I don't know how that's going to turn out. See the whole top. I can't get my light where I need it. I don't know if you can see that hole down there. The whole top of the K-frame's rotted off right where it hooks onto the rack, but the front side is not too bad. So you may get the winner out of this car. I don't know. It's not too safe for the road. Anyway, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I might call the lady that owns it and talk to her first. Okay guys. Okay guys, so I'm going to try to save some money by doing only the one line that needs it so they can drive it for a few days to decide what they want to do. Now it's better if you have somebody with you, but anyway, push the brakes down, and the one that doesn't lock is the one you're after. And it's this side right here. Left rear is the line of blue. A little bit of a redneck way of finding out which one it is. I think I'm going to go call her first before I do it, because this car should have all the brake lines on it. But anyway, let's get to it. Okay, a little side note on a GM here. These brake lines are marked right on the ABS unit. Left front, right rear, and left rear, and the other one will be left front. So we're after this one right here, left rear. So we're just going to undo that nut. You're going to have to keep some of these ends. The brake fittings are all different. Then we're going to take her halfway back where someone's already done a repair. And they should have went right to the front when they did it. Where is it? Where the heck is it, guys? Sorry about that. I have to edit this out. Oh, right there. Someone's already done a repair. So I'm just going to go right from there. And hopefully the blade screws come out. Okay guys, one thing to remember when you do your brake lines is be very careful about your flares and the sizes of nuts. Some are metric that look like this. Double flare metric. That's a double flare. You can see it's bulged inwards. Some will be, they call them ISO bubble flare, and if I can get the camera down there, sorry about the shakiness guys, you can see it's bubbled outwards and it's got this little shank on it there. So when you're doing brake lines, be very careful what you're doing, because if you get the wrong flare in there, it won't stop leaking. I just talked to the lady that owns this car and she wants the brake lines fixed. They can't afford to buy another car, so we're gonna have to see what we can do with that K-frame after. We'll probably end up replacing it. Okay guys, I got a roll of brake lines, so I'm going to make my own brake line. This is an ISO metric fitting, and we're going to put a bubble flare on here. There's only a few things got to remember with these. And it's metric 4.75 instead of 3/16, but it works. So first thing you want to do is make sure that is, unlike the double flare, make sure that is flush with the hole. And I'll show you why. Tighten this down. Okay, with that tightened down, we're going to, I wish I had a vise to show you guys. You can see how the end of this is made. It's got the anvil right on it. This is going to make a nice bubble on there. I really need a garage for this stuff, guys. I'm starting to get tired of working in the driveway, especially when it starts snowing out. Okay, now, if you had it in the vise, it's a lot easier. It's not impossible to do with no vise. That didn't screw the sound up. Tighten her down, back her off. Take that out. I wreathed on these because these have a tendency to slip out unless you tighten them a bit with a screwdriver. Okay, so this is what you end up with. And watch your fittings, like I said, at the top. You can see that's a nice bubble on there. Okay. Okay, feeding the line through, you can do it two ways. You can jam this thing in from the top. What I mean by that is, first off, I recommend putting something over the end of your flare, and maybe a bit more than that. Ooh, like that, to protect your end from getting dirt in there. You don't want dirt in there. It'll mess you right up. Okay, you can do it two ways. You can jam from below, or you can jam it up from the bottom. You got to take care where these lines pass, because you don't want them in the axle, and you don't want them down inside of the steering gear. Now, you could jam it like this. I'm going to go underneath and see if I can jam it upwards, because I have the fitting for the master right down there. Okay. Okay, you can see I hit the line right up here. What I'm going to do is put my bend in here. I'm going to do it, well, sometimes you do it before you take tape off. If you leave a little bit of tape on the line, that'll ensure that your nut can't slide back down and go down below the car. You do that after, I guess. You're going to guess how distance in between there, and just 3/16 is really easy to bend. Just remember that, try not to kink it. Kind of go like that. Quick guesstimation. Okay, that should work. Reinstall there, and we're going to go to the back. Okay, just a word of caution, guys, when you're starting lines into aluminum, always try to start them with your fingers, and I'm probably going to get in your way. There's going to be times when the threads are screwed up and you're going to have to start them with a wrench, but I don't recommend trying to start them with a wrench, because if you cross thread that, you're going to be in a world of trouble, especially if you have to start replacing ABS units. Anyway, try to get that started with your fingers, and you can wiggle the line. Sometimes it looks like you're starting straight, but you aren't. So anyway, just a word of caution about that. Okay, guys, I can't get these drums off, so I'm just going to leave it. You can tell this car hasn't seen a lot of maintenance in a long time. So we're hoping we can get the bleed screw out. If not, this other little tip right here should be able to bleed this through the line right here, because this is facing up. Air will not travel down inside that line in the fluid. It'll always come up. So I'm going to cut this off, get that out, and run a new line right here. And one thing you gotta watch out, look at this cobbled, cobbled together there, cobbled together there. It's really messed up. Anyway, I'm going to run that left rear line right to here. I'm not going to bother the splicer. You have to make sure underneath to look for equal proportioning valves, because if you take them out, you're going to have 50% brakes on the back and 50% brakes on the front, which you don't want, because the back's going to lock up. The front of your car does about 80 or 90% of your braking, so it needs a reduction in line if the master doesn't already do it. But I think this one's okay. Yeah, so you only want about 20% brake in the back, or 30. I can't remember what it is. Anyway, something like that. But be precaution that if it does got those little things in the brake line down below here, they have to put them back. They have to be facing the right way. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut this off because I got new fittings. Hopefully the flex line is okay. I've seen it where I've taken threads out of there before. If that happens here, I'm gonna be in trouble because I can't get a new flex line tonight, and they need the car tomorrow. So now some of these fittings are 10, some are 12. This happens to be a 12. This is a lot easier than a wrench if you can get it on. Oh, there, it's going to come out good. That's what I like to see. Now, like I said, if I can't get the bleed screw out, I'm going to bleed it right here. You might have to have someone else do it. I do have a vacuum bleeder. That'll be okay for the back if I don't have anybody do it. Okay, so unwind the line to the top here next. Okay, so you got coil underneath. What you can do is you got to kind of keep these lines in the same place and try not to disturb the fuel lines. What I'm going to do after is come back and tie strap these brake lines right to the old brake lines in the hangers. Just go along, kind of match the thing all the way down, and then bring it up through the wheel well, or you can even go on the outside of the wheel well. Okay, so you can kind of bring it outside and guess where you have to be. Cut it, flare it, and then we'll feed it back through. Okay guys, come back in here with a value bulk pack, and we're gonna tie strap these. Oh, I made sure they weren't hitting the front. We're gonna tie strap these all down from front to back. Okay, so you're gonna end up something like this with a porcupine all the way down. Try to keep them as neat as possible. Try not to pull on the fuel lines. I've been tying them to the, well, except for here, that's the vent line anyway, evap line. I try to keep them on the brake lines. If you start messing with these fuel lines on an old car like this, it's probably gonna leak too. The best thing would have been to just put all new lines on it, but that's what we have. Now go back and cut the straps off the end so it looks nice, and you can even spray undercoating spray or rust check or something like that to keep it from rusting. Okay guys, there's several tricks to get the bleed screw out. Heating is one. I got lucky these ones came out, but their holes are plugged. So before I can bleed it, and I'm losing light here, so 5/64 drill bit, and I actually have a torch tip cleaner at work that works perfect for this. You get the holes all cleaned out. Actually might have to go smaller than that. So right here, like a 7/32. Anyway, clean the... Okay, next step, I'll show you how to bleed it. Several ways you can bleed it. If you don't have anybody around, you can use a vacuum tester like this with a brake fluid adapter on it like that, and I'll show you how that works. That's how I'm going to go because I don't have any help here right now. Anyway, clean the threads up on this and put some kind of lube on there, some kind of grease, so the next time you're in there you have to take it out, it'll come right out. Okay, I'm going to quickly go through this. Now, I don't know if you guys see this or not, the bleed screw, I got it open, and we got this vacuum hose hooked up. I'm going to show you what to do here. Let's pump it up. It's going to pull the brake fluid through the lines, and when it comes through, you can see it's coming up the line right there. That's the stuff that's in the wheel cylinder. Now, you don't want any of that brake fluid inside your vacuum pump because it'll mess the diaphragms all up. And you see I'm putting vacuum on it. I got almost 15 pounds. You can see it bubbling through the lines. And watch your vacuum gauge. You just leave it on there. And you can pump it up more if you want. You see it pulling the air out of it. I'm losing light, guys, so if I cut this video short, you're gonna know why. Now you can pump it up some more if you want. Now you put grease on the threads. It actually helps seal the bleed screw so it won't pull any air around the threads. It should catch it in the bottom. And if I see any go through this hose here, I'm going to stop, but it should throw it right in the bottom when it comes through. It should get in there pretty soon. It's coming pretty good now. So, still don't have any in the cup though. Now I have about 16 pounds onto her. onto her. Actually, no, 13. Sorry, the scale's the other way. So I'm gonna crank her up some more because I hate waiting. But this will suck the air right through everything. Now, if you didn't touch the brake pedal beforehand, before you start doing your brake fluid, brake bleeding, this one popped a line, so I might have a little bit more difficulties getting the air out. You can see I'm up to 21 now. Anyway, continue. I can leave this on. I'm going to check my brake fluid. You can see it's starting to go in down here. And you can tell probably when it comes clean, you know your fluid's getting there, but I think it's alright. So I release. Now I'm just going to take the line off the back and let it drip. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not. I'm going to wait till it starts dripping out there. Then I'm going to close it. You can see the air coming out of there. Let her go to the air bubble stop. So there it's clear. I hope this turns out. It's clear. Leave there for a minute or two and then shut it. But probably shut it now. It'll be safe to have no air in there. So I'm going to go ahead and shut that bleed screw off. Oh, there goes my hip. Oh, I sit the wrong way. My hip pops. I hate that. Now you can come back over after and get someone to help you bleed it. Okay, just like that. Now we're going to run to the front, make sure my master is full, and I'm going to do the same. I'm going to crawl under there, I'm going to do the same to the other side, if I can get the bleed screw out. Okay, this side, I broke the bleed screw off. I don't have any acetylene or a propane tip. I'm going to heat it up, gut it out. So I'm going to take the line off. I'm going to bleed through the line the same way. They get the fluid down there, and then we're going to let it run for a bit, and I'll show you how that works. Okay guys, there you can see, hope this is turning out low light, and I got the air coming through there. Now, I got it going pretty good, and I can see it coming out on a steady stream. Now that air should be out of there. I'm going to slowly tighten it up, and we should be good. I'm going to watch for bubbles around that line and nut, but it should be good right there. Okay, so I was able to get the air out of it, I believe. Let's get this thing to focus. Sorry guys, I'm losing light here. I was only able to do that because the top of the flex line was pointed up, which means air will not go down. It floats to the surface inside the liquid, right? So when I get that steady stream of fluid coming out here, it means no air coming from there. So the air should be all gone in this system. I'm going to put the wheels back on and I'm going to get in and try it. Hopefully we don't blow any more lines. Okay, I test drove it. It was fine. It was kind of laid out, so I didn't take more video. I took it back down the road there and I rode my wife's bike back. That was a chore and a half, but anyway. Another way of figuring out which brake lines you get, if you're not sure, most cars will have 4 brake lines, 2 to the front each wheel and 2 to the back each wheel, and that is for in case you blow one brake line. You'll always have 1 front wheel and 1 back wheel, and it's always crisscrossed, 1 on the front, right rear, right front, left rear. On the trucks, it's usually 1 back one and 2 front ones. But anyway, that's a different story. Now, what I wanted to make this point was that if you're not sure, this one's marked, it's the same thing as the other one I just did. But if you weren't sure what brake line you had here, you could always take the line off the back or find where it's broke and then take the line out the front and put shop air into it. Now you're going to have to bleed this system out anyway, and if you guess right, let's say you got a right rear leaking, if you follow it up, you can normally tell where they go until it hits about the firewall here. Then you can't see them anymore. But if you take the line off and then put pressurized shop air in it and have somebody watch at the back, you'll see it come spraying out the hole. Yeah, so anyway, so I thought I'd throw that in there because I was looking at the video last night, it wasn't complete. So anyway, we will be doing the K-frame in that car, so we'll look forward to that probably maybe next weekend. I'm not sure. I'm trying to find a cheap K-frame because I don't want to have to spend $175 for a used one that maybe not be any better. Anyway, if you guys like this kind of stuff, please comment, rate, and subscribe, and have a nice day.